Good afternoon, everyone. It's July 1st, 2020. I'm Jeanette Bushnell, and I'm making a short video today on how to can blueberries that we pick in our garden this morning and yesterday and the day before. Blueberries will be good for about a week, maybe 2 weeks throughout the season. I'm canning domestic blueberries, which are larger than huckleberries. The huckleberries will not be in season until later in July or early August. So we'll do some of those later. But for now, we're going to do blueberries. Most berries are acidic. So that means that we can can them without having to put them in a pressure cooker. We can can them just by heating them up with hot water. And so what we're going to do, I'm putting my blueberries in half-pint jars. You can also put them in pint jars. I suppose you can put them in quart jars. Normally we freeze our berries and we like to use them just a few at a time, and that's why I'm putting the small jars. Plus I love to give my canned goods as gifts, and so having nice small jars of things is kind of fun. So we're going to fill this. We could also use the canning funnel, but blueberries are so easy to work with, we don't really need to do that. With blueberries, the head space, which we talked about on the other video, is going to be 1/2 inch. That means that we're going to fill the liquid to within 1/2 inch of the top, which is about halfway up this screw threading here. So I don't want to put blueberries above that 1/2 inch. I want to keep the berries at the 1/2 inch headspace line, and I'm going to pour hot water in. Now, I'm working on my cutting board because I've washed the glass and I've washed the lid and sterilized it in hot water. And if I were to put it on my stone surface, we would have warm and hot glass on a freezing cold stone, and it can crack the glass. And so I like to work on my wood cutting board. Now for blueberries, I grew up making jam and syrup, but I don't eat sugar much anymore. And so I did research, and you don't need sugar. You can just use plain hot water. So I'm going to fill it to within 1/2 inch of the top with my boiling hot water. And then I'm going to take a clean cloth. This is an old dish rag. Get it slightly damp. With the water pouring in, it's not real important, but if I'm using vinegar or if it's salmon and there might be oil, you want to make sure this screw top is absolutely clean before you put your sterile lid on, to make sure that a seal can form where that rubber is. And then loosely screw on the screw cap. The screw cap is just to make sure the lid stays centered on the jar. It has nothing to do with the seal. And in fact, once you're all done, you'll remove the screw top. Anyhow, these are going to boil for 10 minutes in a hot water bath. And I'm going to use my pressure canner because I have it, I'm used to it, I'm comfortable with it. And I've measured it out and already filled 11 jars. And now I'm going to put in the 12th. And this has to be the handiest tool ever invented. And I would go buy one if you're going to do it. Don't mess around. It's just a jar grabber. And it's great. So what we see here for a water bath, I've already pre-filled this, is the water, we need 1 inch of water above the top of the tallest jar. I think I need to put more water in there. So I'm going to put more water in. I'll get more. We'll just start with this. And I've looked up on the table. Okay, we're going to turn the heat on high. And we're going to boil it. And the water has to come to a full rolling boil that just won't stop. The whole thing will boil. And then for blueberries, it has to boil for 10 to 15 minutes. And since I'm using really small jars, I'm just going to do the 10-minute one. So why don't we go ahead and take a short break, and then when 10 minutes is up, I'll show you what to do. Hi again. We're back after the water. Oops, let me turn the fan off. A little steam kitchenette. We've put the blueberries in, and they've boiled at a hard boil for 10 minutes, and the boiling just stopped. And so what we're going to do now is gently lift the jars out. Technically, they can stay in there until the water cools. So if you don't have a jar lifter or some other means to get it out, that's okay. But I have a jar lifter, so I'm going to use it. So what we want to do is to gently lift every jar straight up so that it doesn't lean one way or the other. Now, I designed this kitchen so that I can lift a jar straight up and not run into anything. If you're in a kitchen where you can't do that, you might want to leave it in longer for the water to cool. We're going to set it on a not cold surface. So you don't want to set these hot glasses on tile or on any other stone surface. And then I'm setting it on our wood cutting board here, and we're just going to let it sit and do nothing until it cools. And after it's cooled, this lid is going to pop and it's going to suck down, and that is what will tell us that it has sealed. And that is how you can blueberries.